Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online, where I've been doing some more preparations, I would say, moving some more blueprints from Amar space into Galente space. And I'm also starting my first BPC runs in Galente space as well. I'm hoping to use those in order to explore the difference between the Lodixi market and the Jita market in order to decide which BPCs would be better sold where, and just get started on that new BPC routine from Galente space. I need to move a couple more in order to get all 10 of my job runs making BPCs. That will then hopefully, of course, make me a profit, but I think that should be doable in the next few weeks. And then I need to, of course, explore, as I've said, where the best place is to sell all of those blueprints, and then I think I'll be ready to also move my PI from Amar space into Galente space, and that is something that I'm also doing at the moment. I'm selling basically as much PI as I can. If you follow EVE Talk, you know that those prices they're really surprising me. They're very, very high for summertime, but it's a great time to be selling coolants, mechanical parts, and a whole lot of other stuff. So that is something that I've been doing as well in the last week. Next to that, mostly just some anomaly cleaning. We're back into the skilling spree, so just getting 5-10 kills for NPCs gets you a nice little boost for skill points, which, well, I'm not sure exactly where I want to invest them into at this point, but I'm basically finishing some pretty basic skills actually and getting them to 5, although like large weapons, things like that, of course, take a long time. So, you know, investments for the future, getting ready for our next phase in EVE Online, which I'm of course hoping will be a faction warfare related arc. It all depends, of course, on what CCP is planning exactly, but what we know from FanFest is that they're at least playing with the idea of having a sort of an allegiance system, where rather than having to join a faction warfare corporation, you can declare your allegiance to a certain group, and then hopefully we get like lots of activities that we can do that don't necessarily, I mentioned this quite a few times before as well, but that don't necessarily cost you your reputation with the other sides. I'm hoping for some more non-combat activities that will find their way into faction warfare, and then I can definitely see myself take part in that and try to help out my home faction of the Galente, which is of course also the reason why I'm moving everything, or moving a lot of stuff I should say, from Amar space into Galente space, also using the jump clones from time to time just to fly around Galente space a little bit, explore the space and see what's happening out there. But for now, of course, we're still in preparation mode, we're still in wait and see mode, because activity is super low in the game, which is great for explorers. You do get a lot of signatures that you can have for yourself, and potentially, of course, good combat sites can mean quite a lot of money, but the game does feel a little bit stagnant, a little bit empty at the moment, if you're paying attention to all of that, and it's not that easy, I can imagine, to be super motivated to get going on EVE Online. So for me, the ball is really in CCP's camp at the moment, and they will hopefully bring some really cool stuff that can give us our next projects in EVE Online. And that brings me to the second game of the week, which has been a little bit more Civilization 6. I was looking to relax a little bit more, and yeah, Civ 6 is the game that I go to for that, especially when you go for that cultural victory. I think that's the easiest way of getting a pretty certain victory in Civ 6. Just focus on getting cultural buildings, cultural upgrades, then the famous people really start to just roll in one after the other, getting you great works, getting you that tourism. It's all a very straightforward path that just comes from investing in a certain type of building. That's a completely different type of victory compared to everything else, I would say. Like a military victory, you do need to conquer almost everything, so you need to maintain your armies, you need to have a plan to conquer all of those cities. Some of them are very strongly defended, not that easy, definitely takes quite a bit of work. Another one is the religious victory. I did have a couple of religious victories, but I have to say on all of them the final push has always been very difficult, because there's always another civilization on the other side of the world that has a strong focus on religion, and then you really need to plan out to strike at many different cities, you could say, at the same time in order to get that religious previous victory going. It is not that easy. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the harder ones. And then you also have the victory through research, which is doable. You can get ahead, I think, of a lot of the other civilizations pretty easily. And then you've got the final bit, which, you know, doesn't mean just research, but also production potential, you know, to get the spaceport, to get all of those special constructions going. Also, again, taking a little bit more effort than the straightforward victory of a cultural victory. And so that's what I went for on this one. Managed to knock that out in just a couple of days. And it's just, for me, a very, very fun experience. If you haven't played Civ 6 yet, it is at the moment my go-to game for relaxation, turn-based grand strategy, and it really does, for me, hit the mark on everything that Civilizations is. You can easily forget the time there. One more turn, I'll build that next city, and then we'll stop. Oh no, I'll do a little bit more. It just keeps coming. It's really awesome. And yeah, that was the other game that I played in the last week, and that was basically my last week in games, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.